Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are having an awesome day. Today is about to get absolutely ridiculous. About a year ago, I was handed the keys to a vehicle known as the Rezvani tank, the most apocalyptic looking SUV I have ever seen in my entire life. I only had a short period of time with it, so I thought it'd be awesome to take it to Rodeo Drive to see what people thought of the tank. It turns out it garnered more attention than any vehicle I had ever driven. It was fun to drive, looked like it was ready for war, and stood out in a place that's almost impossible to do so. Well, it turns out Rezvani liked the video. They hit me up and said, hey, we've actually got a fully bulletproof military version. Would you like to shoot it with a gun? That's right, today we are going to Corona, California to test out the military edition Rezvani tank and shoot at it with weapons. It's about to get interesting. Let's roll. Well guys, here it is, the Rezvani tank. It comes in 3 different trim levels. The base model tank that I drove in Beverly Hills, then there's the Tank X, and the ultimate, most badass vehicle you can get from Rezvani, the Tank Military Edition, which we have today. The features on this thing are absolutely insane, and I can't wait to share them with you guys. Just look at this vehicle, guys. While it started life as a Jeep Wrangler, the incredible modern, futuristic, yet military-inspired design looks like nothing else on the road. Name another vehicle that looks more ready for the apocalypse than the Rezvani tank. The tank starts at $165,000 and climbs from there depending upon spec and options. The tank I drove in Beverly Hills had a cute little V6 motor. The tank military, however, comes standard with a 6.4 liter V8 that makes 500 horsepower. But it doesn't stop there. For people who are power crazy, for $29,000, you can upgrade to a Hellcat motor. That's right, 6.2 liter supercharged V8 making 707 horsepower. Something that looks like this. Well, the base model has a range of options that you can add on. The military edition comes with a bunch of standard features that will absolutely blow your mind. For one, the glass as well as the body of the tank are bulletproof, which we are going to be testing out later on. Check this out. The door itself weighs about 400 pounds. When you open this thing up, it is extremely heavy. But the most impressive part is how thick this glass is. It's legitimately over 1.5 inches thick. And when you knock on it, it doesn't feel like your typical glass. It almost feels like you're banging on steel. When this thing closes, I also absolutely love the design of the door handles, and inside here is something I've never seen on any other vehicle. This is a safety protection vehicle that you can drive on the road, and it has electrified door handles. What does that mean? Well, there's a button on the inside that when you click it, it primes the system, and if somebody who's unwanted comes up to open the door, it actually shocks their hand. Now, I've been told it's so painful, we're not gonna be doing a demonstration, but that is pretty cool. If you look closely in the door handle, you can actually see the electrical conductors where you'd get shocked. All you have to do is flick this switch, and we're primed and ready to go. The underside of the Rezvani tank even has protection against explosives. That's right, IEDs and pipe bombs, they can explode no problem underneath the Rezvani, and you'll be completely safe inside. It's like a cocoon of protection. This military tank has the Extreme Off-Road package, which means a 6-inch lift, 37-inch tires, upgraded front and rear drive shafts and axles, and 2.5-inch Fox shocks. So not only can you survive the apocalypse, you can also go off-roading in this as well. Let's take a look at these wheels. Squatting down next to the tires, they're almost the size of me, and they're actually run flats. There's a rubber tube on the inside, so if these go completely flat, the tank can drive no problem at all. In fact, it doesn't need a tire at all. It can still drive forwards. Now, the wheels have been designed to protect all of the brake components, so you're safe no matter what. Let's hop in the tank, shall we? It's got automatic side steps to make it easier for you to climb into the tank. Be careful though, these doors are ridiculously heavy, especially on this windy day. They could crush you. Hop on in. The interior of the tank is nicely appointed with leather. There are some cool convenience options as well. 8.5-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay, so you can easily connect your phone and listen to music. There's also 2 different levels of speaker system upgrades, the highest of which comes with focal speakers and a JBL amplifier, so you know your music's going to be sounding good. Obviously, this being a tank, there are a range of controls that you would never see in a normal vehicle. Check out this panel up above the rear view mirror that gives you controls for electric shock for the door handles. There is a magnetic deadbolt lock so that if somebody shoots the lock in the normal part of the door, you are still secured. Then my favorite, the smoke screen, which we'll demonstrate later. There's front lights and rear lights that absolutely blind any intruders coming from the front or the rear, and strobe lights. Let's go ahead and fire her up. That 6.4 liter V8 sounds so much better than the V6. Now, because this is bulletproof, it weighs 4,000 additional pounds over the standard tank. This thing comes in at 8,000 pounds. So it's not the quickest vehicle in the world, but actually 500 horsepower does pretty well. Let's go ahead, pull her out onto the road. Listen to the sound this makes. That is awesome. Surprisingly, for such a big vehicle, it's actually pretty easy to drive. The steering is nice and light. The visibility out the front is fantastic. Same with the side windows. The rear visibility, however, is not the best. The leather seats are incredibly comfortable, and we've got tons and tons of headroom. You do sit relatively close to your passenger, but you get this level of comfort and security like no other vehicle. It actually feels like you're inside of a bank vault. It is incredibly isolated from the road. They did a fantastic job of not being able to hear any real road noise, but at the same time, you do get to hear that incredible V8 soundtrack. There's also a PA system, so you can communicate with people on the outside without having to open the doors. You can actually listen to what people are saying as well. So they've made 5 Rezvani tanks so far. 2 of their customers you guys may know. Chris Brown, who has a very unique taste in vehicles, and then we've got Exhibit from Pimp My Ride. He has one of these as well. And the rest of the vehicles are scattered in Colorado, Texas, even Africa. I can't believe this, guys. This is one of the craziest things, if not the craziest thing, to happen on Vehicle Virgins. We are headed right now to a shooting range to shoot the Rezvani tank and actually prove that this thing is indeed bulletproof. I am so excited right now. Before we get to the range, we've got to try out the smoke screen. So if you're driving along and somebody that you don't want is following you, you can click the red button up here to activate the smoke screen, and apparently it's going to release a ridiculous amount of smoke out of the exhaust to blind anyone behind you. Let's try it out. With one click of a button, we can activate the night vision camera right here, labeled Cam. And up on the screen pops the thermal imaging camera. It actually is capable of tracking humans via this yellow box to make them stand out more from the background. In case you find yourself in a chemical warfare battle, it does actually come with gas masks. Check this out. That is pretty awesome. And there is an additional line of defense in case all of the other techniques don't work. Let me show you in the back. Coming around to the rear of the tank, we've got this cool storage area. Opens upwards this way. There is another blinding light bar. But in here, there are a box of extremely sharp tacks. This actually has an automatic tack dropper underneath the car that releases 40 tacks, so it pops the tires of enemy vehicles. To make it lighter weight and easier to open, this is actually normal glass. Inside, we've got the ultra thick bulletproof glass. Nice storage area here for guns and other equipment. We've also got a pistol safe right in the center console in case you want to have your pistol stored away inside the vehicle. Right here you can see the little thermal imaging camera. Normally it'd be parking sensors or a front camera on your typical vehicle, but that way you can see stuff at nighttime. Now down below, we've got a steel reinforced bumper meant for ramming. So if you need to smash into anything, this 8,000-pound bulletproof truck will run right through it. All right, let's go to the shooting range. And if you want to let people know you are arriving, there are a series of police sirens that you can activate using the panel here. Check this out. That's awesome. All right, off to the range we go. This should be pretty interesting. Funny enough, actually yesterday during the off-roading trip, we fired some AR-15s, and that's the gun we're going to be using today. Getting the tank ready to go at the shooting range for being shot at. Man, this is exciting. So check this out, guys. We've got an uninstalled Rezvani tank window. And like I was saying, look how thick that piece of glass is. Get the guns loaded up. Check out the assortment of guns we've got going on today. So before we actually shoot the car, we're going to shoot at a test piece of glass, the exact same glass that goes in the tank. It's gonna be interesting. Apparently the bullet actually sticks inside the glass. I was worried at first about it ricocheting, but let's see what happens. Wow. Wow, look at that. Look at that. None of it went through. All right, get a little shooting practice of my own. Check it out, one of the bullets is stuck right there in the sheet of glass. That is epic. Just look at all of the fractures, but the fact that none of them actually penetrated through is pretty cool. So this piece of glass was hit by about 25 different rounds from an AR-15 and then a handgun, and none of them penetrated. Now it's time to actually shoot the car. Rolling it downfield. Just set up one of my GoPros on the inside window to capture what it'd be like to be inside of the tank and be shot at. I definitely didn't think that when I started Vehicle Virgins, I'd be out here on a range shooting a Rezvani tank, but this is awesome. Here we go. All right, so what gun are we using to shoot the Rezvani?
This is a 6-hour 5.16. It shoots a 223 round and a 5.56. It's basically a piston version of an AR-15.
Gotcha. Here we go, guys. All right, let's check out the damage. Look at that from the inside. The crazy part is on the back, it's actually completely smooth.
Oh, I felt that there. Nice.
Here we go, 2 rounds, and none of it has gone through. So it's 6 layers of glass and polycarbonate back to back, and it disperses the energy out to the sides. Looks like it did a very effective job. Well, that was absolutely epic. Not too often you get to watch an SUV get shot at by a rifle. Now we're gonna take this out for a little more of a spin. Back on the road in the Rezvani tank. What a day this has been. Absolutely wild. There's something about driving this that just puts a smile on my face. It's absolutely ludicrous and not for everyone. But if you want something incredibly unique and unbelievably safe, the Rezvani tank is an awesome, awesome option. It starts at $295,000 for the military edition, so it isn't the cheapest vehicle. But how many cars do you know that have electrified door handles, smoke screens, gas masks, and that can withstand rifle rounds? Yeah, I can't really think of any. It actually has a really impressive turning radius as well. I guess the good news is, if you do end up hitting anything, that object's gonna lose that battle. It's also really comfortable to drive. The ride quality for something that's this lifted, that has 37-inch tires, is impressively good. Some more unique interior features of the tank. In the center console here, lift this up, and we've got a passcode protected vault, so you can store money, valuables, or a pistol for added safety. We've also got a full roll cage, but it's nicely wrapped in Alcantara, just like the rest of the headliner, so you can't really see it, but you do know it's there for added safety. We've also got, like on the Wrangler, integrated speakers into the roll bar. Well, it has been an amazing day with the Rezvani tank. You can hear the gunshots in the background from the range. What a crazy experience. But just looking at this from the outside, I'm breathtaken by the design. Honestly, it looks absolutely ridiculous in the most brutal way possible. And I really do love the rear of the tank. Such a unique, futuristic design. Looks like something, I don't know, from outer space with this rear window and integrated lights in the back. Well, it's time to give the keys back and head on home. Guys, this Genesis just passed us with the most legendary exhaust I have ever seen. We gotta catch up and film this. All right, we're coming up on it. Check out these tailpipes. Get out of the way, Mustang. Look at that exhaust. Yes! That reminds me of the Pep Boys exhaust setup that I had on my Lamborghini Huracan when I visited Street Speed. We've got the almighty bumper delete mod. See, this way he can really show off his exhaust. He doesn't need a huge exhaust, but now you can see it much more clearly.
You can see his muffler almost as much as you can on an M2 competition.
Oh, it's true though. Well, here's a new meaning to LA standstill traffic. Looks like we got a police officer blocking the entire road, cleaning up palm trees. Last generation Phantom, looking classy as ever. That thing is so big. Back at the house after an incredibly fun and unique day of filming. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely something you don't get to see every single day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.